Hi, welcome back. It's Friday the 30th of July and it's lunchtime. It's about 12:30, 12:45. We've just come in from a walk and it was absolutely tipping it down, so consequently I've still got wet hair, just had to get changed. I'm coming to you with something a bit different today. I'm coming to say that I'm going to take a break from videoing weekly. I'm not going away permanently. My intention at the moment is to video just at the end of each month, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm not helping myself at the moment, and I'm sure as hell not helping anybody else. I've got myself into a rut of just not feeling it, and I know I've got to turn that around. And when I first came to Slimming World in May of 2015, I just worked the plan and I followed my consultant and I did it, just did it. And now I think I overcomplicate it. I think I'm comparing myself to far too many people. That's not their problem, it's my problem. I think I'm lacking inspiration. I'm going to be totally honest and say I don't find anything on YouTube inspiring at the moment, and that's me. I'm not just talking about Slimming World, I'm talking about video wise. I just don't find it inspiring. Whether it's the place I'm in, coming out of the final lockdown and everything, trying to look for a new normal or whatever, I just don't know. Whether I'm depressed, I don't think so. Whether I'm unhappy, yeah, I think that comes into some of it. But what can I do about it? Not what can anybody else do about it. Not what can anybody else inspire me to do about it. What can I diet plan can I change to? Because they all only work if you work them. It's what can I do about it? And I think what I need to do about it is to go back to May 2015 and work the plan to lose weight, because that's what I need to do. I am not happy in my body. It's funny, I just went and got changed and I just put on a pair of jogging bottoms that fit me. I mean, they're plenty big enough, but the top half of my body feels like it belongs to somebody else. It's really weird. I'm doing this to myself. Nobody's forcing me to eat anything I don't want to eat. The food I'm craving is totally not what I should be eating. I need to change it. And I'm not going to change it by coming on here every week and making excuses. And I'm not going to change it by coming on here every week and feeling it's my responsibility to influence other people. I don't like this thought of being a YouTube influencer. Because if you were being influenced by me at the moment, you'd all be putting weight on. I'm not an influencer. I just came on here to journal my own weight loss story. Well, actually I came on to journal my maintenance story. I'm way out of maintaining anything at the moment. And I just feel like I don't want to come on here and be false. I don't want to come on here and be a fake. I don't want to come on here and spout, this is what we should be doing. I don't want to just talk the talk. I need to walk the walk. And I remember a long time ago in a video, you know, the worst thing about gaining weight is waking up one morning and ping, you realise all of a sudden you're not in the body you were comfortable in. You're in a totally different body. And I'm in that place, you know, I am 3 stone heavier than I really want to be. And it almost feels like it just happened over a weekend or over a couple of days. It creeps up behind you and then it gives you the biggest kick in the arse you can imagine. And I went to group this morning. I am continuing to go to Slimming World. I am continuing to do Slimming World. I'm not drifting off and trying something else and then swapping and fixing and changing and reinventing myself. I will always stay with Slimming World. Whatever Naomi Wagstaff is a consultant at Slimming World, I will be in one of her groups. So please, Naomi, don't ever give up on us. So I went to group this morning and I weighed in and I gained 3.5 pounds, and I didn't realise that straight away. Let me tell you what happened initially. We went into the room and Joe went with me because at the moment with the COVID things and everything, you need somebody to put your card into the machine because the Waylady can't do that. You need somebody to write results in your book because the Waylady can't do that. So what you do is you put your card in the machine, you get on the scales when you're supposed to get on the scales, and then the lady or the gentleman writes your results on a post-it note and gives you the post-it note. So we did that, we went in, I'm on a 12-week countdown, and that's another thing, I am never ever ever going to buy another week countdown, 12 weeks or 6 weeks, because they don't work for me. I've paid the money, I feel like I deserve the results. You know, this is 3 12-week countdowns I've done in a row, and I am heavier than I was at the start of the first one. Because it's like that gym membership in January, isn't it? You go along to the gym membership in January, they're offering a special deal. You can do the whole year for £400. Otherwise, it's going to be £75 a month, like round the corner from us. Oh, I'll pay the £400, I'll do the whole year, I'll be there 4 times a week. But we never are, or I never am. Because I've made that investment of cash, I think I deserve the results. So I might pay my £400 to go to the gym for a year, and this is a bit hypothetical, but the feeling is I've paid out the money, I've made the effort, I don't need to go every 4th day, every 3rd day, every 2nd day. I've done it, I've paid. And that is what countdowns are becoming to me. You know, I've forked out what does a countdown cost these days? Just under 60 quid? I don't know, somewhere around 50 odd, I don't know, I can't remember. But I've just had 3 in a row, 3 12-week countdowns in a row, and they've done nothing for me because in my head, I've paid the money, so I should get the results. Well, it doesn't work like that. If you want the results, you have to work the plan, Jane. Wake up, wake up. And I feel like I've been in this like dozy situation for months. I was doing fine until the 3rd lockdown, and nothing happened any different except in my head. So I'm not blaming the lockdown, I'm not making excuses. You know, people say to me, oh, everybody's gained weight. Oh, what the hell, I don't care. What's happened to other people is not affecting my life. What's happening to me is affecting my life. And I think that same applies to all of us, which is why we should not compare ourselves to other people. So anyway, turn up at group this morning, go to the pay desk. Kelvin tells me you've got 5 groups left before your countdown runs out. We walk along, we go to the weigh desk. Really nice lady on weigh, met her for the first time a couple of weeks ago. Right, so Joe puts my card in, the lady says get on the scales. It all happened very fast, get on the scales. Got on the scales, you've lost ½ a pound, she said. Fantastic, that's what I'm looking for, a ½ pound a week loss. I'm happy as a pig in muck, basically. So we go and sit down, and Naomi puts us in a situation, she puts 2 chairs together for me and Joe because we're in a bubble. So we sit down. So I put my book and card away in my little bag that lovely Susan bought me, thanks Susan. And I'm sitting there and I said to Joe, have you got the post-it note? And he said, yeah. I said, I'll stick it on my book. Right? So I unzip my bag, stick it on my book. He passes me the post-it note and I said to him, so I'm now dead on 12 stone, am I? And he looks at the post-it note for the first time and he goes, 9-1, loss of ½ a pound. That's not my post-it note, I think. So we need to go back and speak to the lady. Apparently, and it wasn't the lady's fault because she's new to the position, but what had happened, the previous lady who had got on the scales, and I'm not going to name her because it's not fair if anybody from my group watches this, but the previous lady to me who had got on the scales had frozen. So when Joe put in my card, it didn't register my card, but Joe doesn't know what he's looking for. He's not a Slimming Welder. So the lady on the scales then reads out the results from the previous lady, 9 stone 1, loss of ½ a pound, and writes it on my post-it note. Now, it's a good job I am a check and check again type person. I could have walked out of that group today thinking, lost ½ a pound, written in my book, got Joe to write in my book, you are now 12 stone. Gone next week, and my weight would have been like, you have gained 3 stone, 3.5 pounds. And I'm like, what the hell? And I would never have had a proper weight for this week, would I? So we went back, we explained to the lady, and she said, oh yeah, the scales had frozen. But she didn't call me back to get weighed. So I got back on the scales and you have gained 3.5 pounds. Well, I didn't know at that point whether to curse, kick the scales, or just burst into tears, because that's how sensitive I am about my weight at the moment. It wasn't the lady's fault. I am not blaming the lady. But I think now I've had time to ponder on it and analyse it and soak in it the way I always have to do, I am very grateful for what happened this morning, because the previous lady who weighed was 9 stone 1. That's where I should be. And it made me realise when I then had to go back and we had to write 12 stone 4 in my book, it made me realise how bloody far I have fallen, or expanded, whichever way you want to look at it, and I don't like it. I really don't like it. So we came home, we've talked about intentions, or I've talked about my intentions going forward, because it's not about me, this is not about Jo, it's about me. And I honestly don't know whether I want to continue being a vegan. I've never been what they would call an ethical vegan. I've never said I was an ethical vegan. And when I look back on my journey with Slimming World, when I joined Slimming World in May 2015, I was a vegan. Why did I stop being a vegan at that point? Because it wasn't working with the plan. And isn't it funny how you can forget these things? I was a vegan, I think, for my first, 6-8 weeks at Slimming World, and it wasn't working. And that's why I stopped being a vegan. And I thought about going back to be a vegetarian, and then I thought, no, do what the plan says, eat what the plan says. And I started eating meat again. I have gone through periods in my life of being vegan, being vegetarian. I was a vegetarian for 10 years before I met my husband. And I didn't find that difficult at all. And I don't find being a vegan difficult. I'm not saying, oh my God, I am craving. I mean, at the moment I eat eggs occasionally, but I've not been eating any meat or fish for weeks. And I haven't eaten meat for best part of getting on for 2 years really, because I don't crave it. I had a bacon sandwich, didn't I, a few months ago? Yeah, I remember now. But when I look at this and I think, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this to yourself when it's not working for you? So I need to sit down, seriously scratch my head and make a decision. Do I want to eat some meat? And I think the answer is possibly going to be yes. And the funny thing is, over the last month I have been craving black pudding, which tells me my iron level must be low. I've been craving peanuts, daily craving peanuts, which tells me my protein's probably too low. And you look at all these things and you think, Jane, you need to listen, because what you're doing isn't working. And it's not the plan that doesn't work, it's the way you're doing it. So you can make the plan fit anything you want. And I was telling Jo just while we were out on our walk, I listen religiously every week to the Slimming World podcast, and I often quote it on here. And one of the ladies on there, and she's very open about it, you can listen to these things yourself. I'm not snitching on her because I know her. I don't know her. I only know what I hear on the podcast. She's a vegan, and I think possibly her husband is too. And she talks about being a vegan, and I've been listening to those podcasts from day one. Excuse me, that's my washing machine making a funny noise. I've been listening to those podcasts from day one, and she's always talked about striving to get to target. She's never said what a target is, which she's perfectly at liberty not to say what a target should be. It's none of our business, is it? But I noticed very recently that to declare target, she actually said she had put her target up above where she always dreamt it would be to declare target. And I think that is to declare target as a vegan, because it is blinking hard to follow the Slimming World plan as a vegan. I think, come back at me if you're doing this. If you are a vegan and you are religiously losing weight, or you are at target and you find it dead easy, but it ain't working for me. It's just not working for me. And it's not about consuming too many calories, and it's not about living all the time on vegan junk and stuff like that. It's about the fact that really, totally, it's not satisfying. I get to the end of the day and I'm resentful about what I've ate. It's just not satisfying me. So I need to change. I need to walk the walk instead of just continually standing here and saying Slimming World is amazing. In a lot of ways, Slimming World is amazing. There are quite a few things about it that I don't agree with. There are quite a few things about it that I don't like. But that's life. Nobody's ever going to have anything in their life that is 100% perfect. But I think I've got to take a step back, look at what my channel's about, and that for me is about getting back to a weight that I'm not going to say target weight because I won't have a target, but getting back to a weight where I'm comfortable in my own body, getting back to a place where I'm comfortable coming on here and talking about what I'm doing to lose weight, rather than when I first started this vlog thing, 5.5 years ago when I was coming down here and I was talking about what it was like to maintain a weight loss. When nobody else was doing that at the time, there's been a lot of people doing it since. And, you know, hats off to them. If they are maintaining a weight loss and they are comfortable eating what they are eating, then I think that's marvellous. But when I first went to Slimming World, I didn't have an iPad or anything, and I didn't do YouTube. I didn't know the first thing about watching YouTube. And it was only when, more or less, when I got to Target, probably just before Christmas. I got to Target on the 5th of December. Probably just before Christmas I got my first iPad. And I started watching Donna Dybel, and I started watching Elaine Jones, and I started watching Emma G, and a lady called Lauren. And then there was another lady who was somebody, mummy of twins. And most of these people have now gone. Now whether they've gone, they're at Target, they're happy or whatever, that's none of my business, not interested. There's one or two of them who are still around YouTube, and I go back, like every 3 months I'll go back and touch base with one or two people who I've followed for years. Do I want what they've got? No. So Jane, look back, look at Slimming World, look at what Slimming World offered you when you joined it, look at what you got from Slimming World and how did you get it. What I got from Slimming World was down to 8.5 stone, which is probably a bit on the low side. I'm happier around the 9 stone mark. How did I get there? I got there by following the plan 100%. What were my whys? I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to be slim before I was too old to be bothered, basically. I'm approaching 65. I've got like 5 or 6 weeks until I'm 65, and I'm not going to be slim on my 65th birthday, am I? Not at this rate. What inspired me, what motivated me, what kept me on track? Naomi Wagstaff. I wanted what she had got. Because when I joined, excuse me, when I joined, Naomi had been a Target member for 4 years. Naomi had been a consultant for about 3.5 years. So I'm not quoting exact figures, but maybe 4.5, whatever. Now, Naomi's been a Target member for 10 years, because a couple of weeks ago was her 10th wedding anniversary, and she got Target for her wedding dress. That's why she wanted to be a size 12 for her wedding, and she did it. And she stayed there. And then she dropped her Target by 0.5 stone a couple of years ago, and she did it, and she stayed there. And so she's been at Target for over 10 years. She's been a consultant for 10 years in October. She never fronts up at group 2 stone heavier. Even after all this lockdown and all the trauma she's been through in her life, that, you know, we've all had our own situations and everything. She never fronts up at group 2 stone heavier. She never makes excuses. She tells it like it is and she owns it. I want that. I want what she's got, and I'll do what she does to get it. So I'm going back. No, I'm not going to say I'm going back to basics. I'm going back to working the plan. I'm not sure what basics are really, because there is only one plan. And you could choose to isolate parts of it, and you could say I don't do this and I don't do that. And I've been through most of those scenarios in the last 6 years. But I know that the thing that works best is to just do what it says in the book. Please excuse my washing machine. I've got a new washing machine and it tends to make a strange noise in the drain. That's Samsung for you. It plays tunes and makes noises. But yeah, so I'm going back to doing what I did when I first found Slimming World worked for me, and that was for the first time in my life doing it by the book. So I won't be back until the end of August. I thought it was only fair to come on and say so. I had said to Joe on the walk out this morning, I think I'm going to privatise my channel for a few months. I don't really think that's necessary. I think that would probably be a bit too extreme. I'm going to leave my channel up there, but I am going to end on this note and come back in once a month for a while by saying this plan is simple. Losing weight isn't easy. Don't beat yourself up if you're in the same situation as me, because some of us have weight problems and some of us have food problems. And I think for me, I'm at a season in my life where I've got a food problem that I need to overcome to deal with my weight problem. And I've got to be a realist. And I'm not going to be prepared to stand in front of you once a week and make crap excuses. I'm just going to tell you the truth. I am struggling, but by Jove, I'm going to beat this. I'm confident that, you know, as of today, I'm turning around. I'm starting to walk the walk and not just talk the talk. So I'll see you at the end of August. Hope you all stay well, and we will be back. Cheers for now. Bye.